I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for Paris, for France, and for all the people around the world that witnessed Notre Dame. Thank you. Roll.
Ramkissoon, absent. Tobin.
Here.
Kleiner.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
John Francois.
Here.
Burr.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Approval of minutes, none this evening. Correspondence.
Okay, we have one correspondence this evening. It is from John Perino, the President of Board of Education for the City of Middletown School District. I'll read the letter. Dear Mayor DeStefano, on behalf of the Middletown Board of Education, I would like to thank you for attending our board meeting on March 21st and presenting to us. I apologize for the delay in this letter. I have been receiving compliments on your presentation continuously and as recently as the past weekend. The community who watched your presentation had nothing but positive comments and accolades to share. I have always believed that a great school district cannot exist without a strong and progressive city, and a great city also needs strong and progressive school district. I believe that in this new era of cooperation between the district and the City of Middletown, all involved will greatly benefit. Please also extend our thanks to your staff who joined you at the board meeting. We truly appreciate all that all of you and they have done for the City of Middletown and for our school district as a whole. Sincerely, John Perino, President of the Board of Education.
Received and filed.
That is all for correspondence.
For the good of the order, anyone that wants to speak, please come up to the microphone. Limit 4 minutes. Please give your name and speak clearly into the mic. Thank you.
My name is Marilyn Pierce. I am co-chair at the warming station, and I would like to thank the City of Middletown for helping us help the homeless. During the coldest months, they now have a warm, safe place to stay. A special thank you to Andrew Green, who developed a website for us, which has been extremely helpful and so much easier for people to volunteer on, so thank you, Andrew. And a super thank you to Alderman Jerry Kleiner. He spends Thanksgiving at Mulberry House with the homeless when everything else is closed. He is at our meetings. He is an advocate for the homeless. And I don't know what we'd do without him. So Jerry, thank you so much for all you do. You make a big difference in the City of Middletown. Thank you.
On behalf of the mayor and the city council, we really want to thank you and all the work that you put in along with the volunteers. Anyone else would like to address the council?
Good evening, Mayor DeStefano, City Clerk John Numchak, distinguished Common Council members, Commissioner of Public Works, and Police Chief Wanchu. Thank you very much for helping the Middletown Pride Committee. I represent Middletown, and I would like to say that this is my hometown, as it is all of yours. 9 years ago, I got hit in my car with a slice of pizza, and it started me to think that this is not a way to live in Middletown, with people being disrespectful. So I came forth to you, and I come again to say that we're ready as a city to clean up Middletown and to bring it back to the pride level that everyone deserves to have. And we invite everyone, young and old, to come. Show your responsibility to keep things clean. If you can't come, take a rake, take a broom, take a shovel, and clean up around your own home. It's a nice time of the year to bring out the paint that's been sitting in the garage all year. Paint the door, paint the fence, paint the shutters, bring pride to your own home. So we're here on the 27th of this month, and we invite everyone to show up, and we will outfit you with some of the following. Everyone will have a grabber, so you do not have to pick up dirty things by yourself. We will know it's you because we will outfit you with a shirt that identifies you, and I identify somebody already. Thank you. You will have gloves, and you will have garbage bags. We will provide you, at the courtesy of Mid-City Transit, a bus to the path that you would like to clean. If you want to clean up your own street, that's wonderful, and we're happy to have you do it. If you don't want to clean up your own street and your street is clean, then come join us from 9 to 12 on April 27th at Festival Square, just a short hop, skip, and a jump away from here. Meet us, and we will greet you and be very glad that you're showing your pride for Middletown. Thank you.
In this time, I'm going to ask Vanessa if she can interpret my speech. Gracias, Vanessa. Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Rey David Virgen.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Ray David Virgen.
Vivo en 30 Woods Place, Middletown, New York.
I live in 30 Woods Place, Middletown, New York.
Antes que nada, quiero aplaudir el trabajo y el esfuerzo del Departamento de Limpieza de este pueblo.
Before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out and thanks to the Department of Public Works.
Han hecho un trabajo fenomenal, estupendo.
They have done a phenomenal and stupendous job.
Quisiera invitar, apoyando la propuesta de la compañera o lo que he mencionado, que este 27 de abril cerremos con mucha fuerza limpiando nuestro pueblo.
And I would also like to go back into speaking on the Middletown Cleanup Day, on definitely taking that initiative on as a community.
Dicho lo anterior, ahora quisiera acentuar la razón por la que estamos aquí esta noche, o de manera personal, por qué estoy aquí esta noche.
And just moving forward, I really just want to give an explanation of why I'm here tonight, why we're all here tonight.
Una de las razones por las que me encuentro aquí es porque estamos pidiéndole a 10 pueblos del Hudson Valley. No queremos más ICE en las cortes de los pueblos.
We are asking the support of 10 municipalities to stop the presence of ICE in our courthouses.
Creo, de manera personal, y muchos estarán de acuerdo conmigo, que la presencia de ICE no es muy inteligente en nuestros pueblos, en las cortes.
I believe that everybody can agree with me on this, that it's not the smartest or intelligent thing for ICE to be in courthouses.
¿Por qué digo esto? Porque gracias a la presencia de ICE, nuestras comunidades se están aislando en este ambiente de miedo y zozobra, se están retirando de los deberes y obligaciones como residentes.
And I say this because we can see the effects that it has on our community members that are isolating themselves because of this.
Se están retirando de pequeñas y simples obligaciones que tenemos como residentes de los pueblos.
They're stopping from doing small, regular activities like any other community member would do.
Desafortunadamente, el día 3 de abril muchos fuimos testigos, algunos por la televisión, otros los vivieron en carne propia en estas instalaciones.
And unfortunately, on April 3rd, there were a couple of people that found out and knew about it through the news, and others that actually lived it through their skin, that incident.
Este incidente afectó enormemente nuestra comunidad y en especial creo que afectó el 95% de un proyecto que acabamos de emprender, como son el ID municipal.
Not only did it affect our communities, but it also affected the municipal ID program by 95% of the people that were already initially taking the initiative to come out and get theirs.
Creo que eso es solamente un pequeño ejemplo de lo que nos ha afectado. Y quiero decir que el día de mañana, cuando tengan que presentar, por ejemplo, registrar a su mascota, presentarse a las obligaciones de la corte, como una corte familiar, como pagar un ticket, la gente no va a querer asistir por miedo que aparezca ICE en las instalaciones, en nuestras instalaciones.
And that's only a small example, but I can assure you that it's more likely that people will stop coming to get their dogs licensed, to get their municipal ID, or put a complaint on anything, simply because they fear that the presence of ICE is going to be here.
Y quiero terminar acentuando lo que nuestro alcalde dijo en las noticias esa noche, que hay un apoyo de parte de las autoridades municipales hacia la comunidad de migrante.
And I want to finish off on what the mayor had said, was that the Middletown Police Department, or city police, had the support and supported the immigrant community.
Y yo quisiera decirle a todos mi gente, a todos los residentes y a toda la ciudad, no es cierto que hay un vínculo entre ICE y las autoridades municipales. No es cierto que hay un vínculo entre la policía y ICE. No es cierto. Necesito educar a mi gente y necesito que ustedes nos ayuden a educar a nuestra gente.
I want to let it be known here that it is for a fact that Middletown and ICE have no connection, and I want to educate my people, but I definitely want that to be known, and I want it to be clarified here.
Por esa razón estamos aquí, porque no queremos ICE en nuestras cortes. Nos ha costado mucho trabajo establecer esa relación entre alcaldía, entre ayuntamiento, entre policía con la ciudadanía, para que de un momento a otro se caiga ese vínculo de relación que existe entre nosotros.
Which is why I'm here today, because I'm trying to really just push for that, to see and prove that there is no division between us, and to push for our communities. Perdón, ¿qué fue la última parte?
Que es una relación, no quiero que se pierda esa relación.
And it was so hard to build that relationship between the Common Council and our community members because of the language barrier. I just want to make sure that we still are able to continue to have that relationship.
Por esa razón no queremos más ICE en nuestras cortes.
And for that same reason, we don't want ICE in our courts.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Hi, Mary Lou Dietrich, Chestnut Street, forgot where I live, Middletown. I wanted to first commend Middletown for doing the municipal IDs. I came the first day. It was wonderful to see everybody was so happy. Karen, they did just a phenomenal job. It was a great, great experience. And to think that it may not happen because people are fearful is ridiculous. You don't know who they're going to come for next, so you have to speak up. So I'm here in support of Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson and asking that Middletown be one of the municipalities to pass a resolution in support of the Protect Our Courts Act. The act would make it unlawful for ICE to come to make a civil arrest while a person is going to, attending, or leaving court unless the officer presents a valid judicial warrant or court order. Poughkeepsie already did last night, so maybe Middletown can be second, which is great. And Jacobson and Cahill are co-sponsors of this act, and I know a resolution doesn't have that much power, but if we show who we are, if we keep standing up for the people who need us, it makes us better people. And those of you who don't stand up for the people who need us, God, I hope someday that you don't need people to stand up for you. That's all I can say. Thank you, Middletown.
Hello, my name is Alfredo. I'm like the organizer for Nobody's Middletown. I was here when that happened. And to today, I can't get over that. It's still in my heart and my head. I worked 2 years for this, 2 years, daily, knocking on people's door, building that trust between the community and you guys. And when that happened, the next day I was devastated. I even went to Pastor Charles for support because I couldn't handle it. I still can. We need to pass that so people feel protected. The fear in them is not, the fear that we all have is not easy. It's not easy to live with this fear every single day. Thinking that you can go now and you may not be coming back home. I was here helping and I was happy. I was happy to give you my time for this. So I guess it's a smart thing to do. Like we got municipal like this, but we also need to rebuild that trust between us. And by that, just if we can pass the protection that no more ICE and courts. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angel, and I got something to say. If I'm lost and my parents left me, I want to find them so I don't be alone for my rest of the life. So I want parents to save me and to take care of me. So I want to help my community and my friends and my family and my parents forever. And I want this place to be somewhere friendly and to have friends and everyone to live and people that could help people that don't have stuff. So they have homes and food so they could survive.
Good evening, Mayor DeStefano and members of the Common Council. I am Kelly Esposito-Brolman, a Middletown resident and a local business owner. I am here tonight to let you know about an upcoming exciting event. On Sunday, April 28th at Monhegan Middle School will be the Hudson Valley premiere of a documentary film, Code Blue. This film centers around the story of Dr. Sarai Stancic and her incredible journey from being an infectious disease doctor to her diagnosis of multiple sclerosis to her eventual transformation as a doctor of lifestyle medicine. I am proud to say that my son Charles and I are in this film, and you may be wondering why. I discovered an article on the day of my own MS diagnosis, written by Dr. Stancic and entitled From Doctor to MS Patient and Back. The very next day, I contacted Dr. Stancic and set up an appointment to see her. After that first meeting with her, when I heard her incredible story firsthand and received invaluable knowledge, advice, and support, I decided to embark right then and there on my new lifestyle journey. I am happy to tell you tonight that that meeting was in October 2016, and I now find myself healthier than I have ever been before. I want to clarify, this is not a film about MS. This film is about empowering people to live their best lives by making choices that will help them to lead longer, happier, healthier lives, in addition to having the potential to prevent and even reverse, in some cases, chronic illnesses. Included in this film are nationally recognized physicians and scientists who support the practices of lifestyle medicine, along with patients like myself who have embarked on the path of lifestyle medicine. This film really is for everyone. Currently, this film is only available for viewing at selected screenings nationally and internationally. Needless to say, it is really exciting to have this come to our own backyard. Even more exciting is the incredible Dr. Stancic will be in attendance to host a Q&A after the screening and will lead a walk around the Monhegan track to conclude the event. The day will begin at 11 a.m. and finish by 2 p.m. I really would appreciate the help of all of you in spreading the word about this very exciting event happening right here in Middletown. I will leave here some posters and postcards if any of you would like to share them. Digital copies of the poster and postcards to share electronically are available, and my contact information may be found on the back of the postcard. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight. I really am grateful. May I leave these with someone? Thank you very much.
Anyone else want to address the council?
Hi, good evening. Bob Dietrich, 14 Chestnut Street. On my commute home from Newburgh today, I was listening to the radio and I heard of cities in Iowa that feel that they will fold if migrants cannot continue to make the journey and join their population and save their economy. We're not full by any means. We have millions of jobs that are now unfilled in our nation, probably at least 10 million, besides having a unemployment rate that's like 2.4%. We need these people. Middletown is the home to a large, hardworking immigrant population, and it's essential to our success, not only the success of our city and its businesses, but businesses throughout the county. They're our neighbors. We have made our neighbors feel welcome. The city's done a great job. They should not feel threatened as they come to receive their wonderful Middletown ID cards or as they do business in any other public building in our city, especially if they have to come to court. I know this is a welcoming city, and we should rally behind our neighbors and restrict the activities of ICE in public buildings to any extent possible. I support the activities of Nobody Leaves the Mid-Hudson and all our important residents. Okay? Just on my block, I've seen a young boy that came to move there when he was 3. I remember playing soccer with him in the street. He now, for years, has had a great job. He has a wonderful car. He has a wonderful family and a new baby. He's a Middletown resident. Thank you.
Bueno, dile buenas tardes a todos y gracias por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí
Please.
este día.
No, pero sí un poquito más acerca para que esté escuchando.
Thank you.
Bueno,
Hello, good afternoon, good evening actually. Thank you all for being here today.
la cuestión que estoy aquí es porque les quiero pedir un favor a los presentes.
The reason why I'm here today is because I want to ask for a favor for those of you who are present today.
Que no se lleven la gente, nomás dejen entrar en migración porque sí, y llevarse la gente cuando hay mucha gente inocente.
To please help stop and prevent ICE from coming and taking more people because it's honestly hurtful and it's traumatizing.
A mí migración me llevó el 27 de septiembre.
Immigration came to pick me up September 27th.
Hasta ahorita desconozco las razones por qué me llevó.
To this day, I still don't know the reason why they picked me up.
Y no se imaginan el dolor que fue para mi familia.
And you have no idea what kind of pain my family went through.
Es un atropello que nos hacen a nosotros.
It's a really hard blow that they hit us with.
Porque lamentablemente mi esposa no trabajaba.
Because unfortunately, at that time, my wife wasn't working.
En primera, yo no soy ningún criminal, no tengo antecedentes penales.
I'm not a criminal. I had no prior convictions.
No recibo ningún fondo del gobierno, ninguna ayuda.
I receive no government help.
Entonces, no soy el único, habemos miles de personas así.
So I know that I'm not the only one. And there are millions more, just like me,
No todos somos criminales como lo dicen.
that aren't criminals like everyone else says.
Hay de personas que ciertas personas tienen su récord.
But of course, we know that there are certain people that do have records.
A mí no me gustaría que otros padres dejaran a sus hijos como me pasó el incidente a mí.
I wouldn't want any other father to go through what I went through, having to leave my family.
Porque es muy triste y es duro no tener confianza hacia la policía o hacia el nosotros nos sentimos desprotegidos aquí.
Because it's really sad to not be able to trust in the police and not feel protected in your own home.
Entonces, a través de esto, en vez de que ellos creen como crearse en familia, ellos empeoran esto.
So instead of actually making this better for our children in our communities, it's worsening the families.
Porque pienso yo que la gente ya no va a tener confianza en la policía.
Because I believe that people won't trust police anymore.
La gente ya no va a reportar cualquier incidente que ellos vean.
People will no longer come forward when they see something.
La gente, en vez de cooperar con ustedes, la gente va a hacer lo que ellos quieran.
And instead of people cooperating with you, they're not going to listen to you.
Y la gente que tenga tickets o que tenga cualquier cosa y venir a hacer presencia, la gente ya no va a venir.
And the people that really care and want to come and speak their mind will no longer do that.
Entonces yo lo que les pido de favor,
And so what I ask of you guys as a favor,
que no queremos que migración esté aquí con nosotros nomás y se lleva a la gente por cualquier cosita.
we don't want immigration here or ICE to just be taking anyone for small infractions.
Que la comunidad tenga la confianza en la policía y
So-
no que tenga desconfianza.
So that our community can grow that trust instead of not believe in them anymore.
¿Tú quieres decir algo, mami? Cuando se llevaron a tu papá. Tú
And
sabes
then
hablar inglés.
his daughter would like to share a couple words.
I will share a couple words about why immigration. Why would they take my father if he never done nothing? The other day they said that they were gonna take someone, but then no one answered, and I guess someone else had to cause it, and then they took my father instead of that person. But my father didn't crime nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink nothing. But when they took him, I wrote a big heart to the judge, and that's what the judge made him go out of prison. So I saved my father from prison, so no one can else. But the reason is I don't know why does immigration take many people if they didn't cause nothing bad. There are many people that happened to it, but what did they done? They done nothing. They didn't done a criminal. They didn't done nothing. The only thing that ICE had to take is to the people who did criminals instead of doing someone else, because ICE doesn't need to take people that they don't need to, but we don't know why. But we still had to find out why they took my father or who did.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Vanessa said, Fourth Ward resident, and I really just wanted to talk on the Protect Our Courts Act. I gotta take a minute.
Take a minute and come back.
Listening to his daughter just reminded me of myself when I was growing up, my fear. Thank you. Growing up being the only U.S. citizen in my family was very frustrating for me. And as I was growing older, I soon learned that the laws that were put in place were not right and they should be changed. In the political climate that we are in right now, I think it's very important and we shouldn't wait for the next crisis to happen to start taking action. And I feel like it's very important for this Protect Our Courts Act, simply because they're preventing people from doing right by just simply going to pay a ticket, having to go show up to court so that they can explain themselves of why they got a fine. It's not right for them to be doing that. It's not right for them to have chased someone down City Hall and beaten them up. And it's not right for them, if they don't find the person that they're looking for, pick up someone else simply for being undocumented. It's really unfair what's going on, and it's really discouraging and disappointing that it's happening in the city where I grew up, because I always considered Middletown my home. I really hope that you guys take this into consideration, and I really hope it happens. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Teresa and I'm an immigrant too. I just arrived 2 weeks ago from South Africa, and I'm putting my roots down in the Hudson Valley. I'd just like to say racism and xenophobia have ravaged my country, and I really please implore you to do the right thing, because people here, they've just been granted to have a municipal ID, and it's just there's no point in having a municipal ID if they just come and arrest them. So please, I'm asking you to do the right thing.
Anyone else? Oh, God. You're beating us to death.
Hello, my name is Justin. I know you guys heard me from last time, so yeah, and I agree with everyone who talks here. It's unfair that ICE has to be pulling families apart and deporting them to where they are from. It's not right, because families are supposed to be together, and it's just not right for people to pull them apart. And yeah, because my uncle also got arrested and sent to immigration, which is jail, and he got taken away from his family. So now they're sad because they don't have anyone to pay the rent, the food, and they want their dad back, but just they won't let him go just because he's from somewhere else. Why do people have to be treated different just because they are from somewhere else? Doesn't make sense. One paper doesn't say what a person is, everyone is the same. Everyone's a person. No one should be discriminated. It's just not fair. And I want to make a change. I want everybody to be treated equally as a group, not separated. And so I want to help everybody, not just my family, but also all the families all the families that are immigrants with kids also, that they also have to suffer because their parents are being pulled away from them. It's just wrong to do this. And I really hate what they're doing, and I'm also worried because you never know when it's gonna happen to you. So I want to change, and I want to help everybody. And I hope that we really can get licenses so we can make every place safe here in the state of New York. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good evening. I'm a visitor from Goshen. Thank you for indulging me. I'll take hopefully just a moment of your time. I actually came here tonight to applaud and honor Jerry Kleiner and his incredible work in the community and at the Warming Center. I take great pride in being a friend of Middletown and doing a number of activities in Middletown because of such people and such things. When the IDs came to fruition, I was thrilled, and I was so proud of you folks. I know it was a long battle, and I was here that one night. There was a lot of things to discuss and work out, and you stuck it out, and you did something really, really admirable. I happen to have two personal friends who were apprehended by ICE, both Goshen men, young men, really productive citizens, graduates of Goshen High School, business owners. One is an independent contractor. The other owns an actual brick and mortar business with his mother in Goshen. They consider themselves people of Goshen. They volunteer. They take part in all the arts activities. And they were arrested because someone wrongfully accused them of really what turned out to be a misdemeanor, and ICE apprehended them in the courthouse. Don't let this happen here in Middletown. So now these young men have been taken out of their community. Their businesses are at risk. There are many of us working to visit them in jail, to meet with lawyers, to raise money. Those are all resources that really could be used elsewhere. They could be used to better our communities. They could be used to be put towards the homeless. They could be used towards arts programs, which all of us have put aside in order to help this family get through this situation. Wasted resources and wasted lives. Don't let this happen here. I don't have any hope of having this kind of support and speaking like this in Goshen, but I really thank you for welcoming me here, and I do take part in a lot of activities in Middletown because I'm proud so far of how you've handled this, and I think you can do the right thing.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Gerren. I am a member leader of Nova Elite Mid-Hudson, and I just wanna. I was thinking actually, standing over there, listening to my community, expressing this concern about the incident that we have with ICE on the court, and I was thinking maybe my opinion, it was just an extra, but I was thinking myself, and I thought that okay, right now I'm a current student in SUNY Orange. I am a resident of Middletown. I have my municipal ID actually, so I believe my opinion matters. So that's why I'm standing here. It was really shocking that day. I was in the school. I started reading the messages, the news about ICE, the warnings. Don't go to the city hall. It was on Wednesday, and Wednesday were the days that we were supposed to get our municipal IDs. People already knew about it, about coming to the city hall, but once they started listening to the messages, they just got really panic. It was, as I said, it was shocking because we couldn't do a lot. Just the incident that happened with this guy, it was a surprise for everyone. And most shocking was that, as Alfredo said, we were working a lot of time for the municipality's resolution. I think you guys already heard about, in the other municipalities, how this project was a really success. They got really interest. Me and my father went to Wallkill to kind of talk about this initiative, and they already knew about it. They got interest, and they felt positive towards the municipalities. So it's really disappointed, as Vanessa and Alfredo said. It's very frustrating. Last week, actually, I was working on the field by Warwick. I was working on the onions, and I met two ladies from Middletown, and I asked them about their IDs. One of them, she said she already have it. The other one, she didn't have it yet. After listening to the incident of that happened here in the city hall, she got really panicked, and I was trying to persuade her to come because it was important. It was a work that we all did in order for us to feel more, closer together. But she didn't want to understand. I tried my best, and that really made me think a lot that she might not be the only one that is thinking that right now. There's a lot of people in Middletown, and this incident not only affects Middletown but also the other municipalities around that might be scared because that could happen not only in Middletown but outside Middletown. So I just want to ask you again, one more time. I don't know if that's going to be the last one, but we hope that this incident doesn't happen again. It's not fair, as the small kid said, to pulling families apart. It's really devastating. It makes you think a lot, more importantly about life. Family is the center of everything, so I hope you guys pass the resolution and make a great decision for not only for us but for everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and the City Council. My name is Reverend Charles Ryu, pastor of St. Paul's United Methodist Church and the proud bearer of Middletown Municipal ID card. We worked very, very hard for this, and what happened a couple of weeks ago really put the spirit of despair in the large part of our community. I'm imploring you to not to be discouraged, but do more to make sure that original purpose and aspiration that inspired us to do this ID card program will continue. I remember talking about a year ago when we were debating on the issue that one great way, perhaps only way for us to protect our undocumented immigrants needing this ID card is for those of us who are citizens have full documentation, get ID cards. The ratio between the citizen resident and the immigrant who are getting these cards, the higher the ratio, the more protective it will become. So I implore all of you, please work with your constituents in your wards to get the ID card. And also ask you to work with the concerned citizens of this town that we create an incentives. For example, some built-in discounts for the business within the city, as well as city services. We talked about it. Maybe it's about time that we make it systematic so that it creates not only a civic identity and protection for a lot of people, for people who are living within city of Middletown, but also our economy stays within us. Again, I'm standing here before you to thank you for the support resolution you made for the Green Light New York, which will be very meaningful. In the same spirit, request you to support our effort to pass the resolution in support of Protect Our Courts Act. As many of people previously of me spoke, ICE presence in the courts has been increased, and it's creating a really precarious situation for basic sense of safety and fairness, not only for the immigrant community, but all New York residents. So that's the reason why so many prosecutors across the state have endorsed this, this act now being introduced in Albany. And ultimately, it's about the kind of vision we have, or we would have, regarding what kind of nation we as the United States of America is and is becoming, or should become. There are different visions of what America is, or what makes America great, but I stand by this vision that America is great because of people from all over the world were given a new opportunity to make their lives great and together build new civilization, not only for us, but the entire world. And there were times when United States of America was an example of that kind of vision. It seems to be deteriorating, but small town like Middletown can become an example for the rest of the country by doing what is right, as so many people have spoken tonight. And as a representative of a faith community, Christian specifically, I go back to the vision of God for humanity that's enshrined in some of the writings in the scripture. Tonight I'd like to quote Book of Leviticus, chapter 35, verses 33 and 34. It says, when you go into your promised land, do not oppress the resident aliens or foreigners in your midst. You should treat them just like native citizens. Remember, you are foreigners in Egypt. As Christ talked about, love your neighbors as yourselves. So loving God and loving our neighbors ourselves are foundational principles of being Christian, and I'm one of the representatives of that community. And that has influenced the way we envisioned American nation, American civilizations, and that's deteriorating. Often the religious community seems to be forgetting their own identities, and my apology for that. But we here in Middletown have been doing so many great things. We may be small, but our examples will have impact far beyond our small town. And I thank you so very much for your great works.
Hello, my name is Erica Padilla. I'm a Middletown resident, and I volunteer for Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson. I've been following Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson for about a year now, And to see the progress that they have made from the time I first started to now has been amazing. But to see it drop within seconds has been disheartening. So the surge of ICE arrests has made immigrants and their families fearful of going to a wide range of courts, including criminal courts, family courts, and housing courts. This means that domestic violence survivors aren't getting orders of protection. Tenants aren't bringing complaints against abusive landlords. And people facing criminal charges are denied their fair day in court. Coming to court is nervous for anyone, regardless of your status. So just imagine how much that increases for this community sitting behind me. So I would just like to hopefully for you guys to support this act. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Munchik, and I work with Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson. And we are all here to ask you to pass a resolution in support of the Protect Our Courts Act. And I think you all have an investment in protecting this building. ICE, the other week, put everyone in this building at risk when they came in plain clothes and terrorized Middletown. They came here and the police was facing off, and they put multiple people in harm's way, and that's because they've gone unchecked. And just in the past 2 years or so, since 2016, ICE has increased their arrests and attempted arrests by 1,700%. And that's a number that comes from the Immigrant Defense Project, and that's a number that tells us that we need to take action now. And I know that a resolution might be a symbolic action, but it's not when it's done by 10 places in a single region. That really tells our state representatives that there's thousands of people across this region who are demanding action from them. And I think the activity that's happened in this court has showed us that we all have a stake in this fight, regardless of whether we are a citizen or not, whether we're brown or white. We are all put at risk by this organization called ICE. So we hope that you will pass this resolution, hopefully tonight, so that people can start feeling safe and accepted in this community and start getting their municipal IDs again. Thank you.
Remarks of department heads, economic development. Anyone have a question for Maria? Thank you. Fire Chief?
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. New engine 1 is in service for fires and rescues. I was just placed in service yesterday, the day before yesterday, so it's already been out on a couple calls. So between the volunteers and the career staff, everybody's been training on it, so it's going to be a nice addition to the community. March, the fire department responded to 53 calls. Total for the year is 235 calls with the one I just went out on. Firefighter Brown finished his training. He is assigned to Engine 5 Group 1. So we have another, truck in service all the time. Other than that, we had one structure fire the other day up on Cottage Street, 204, and just a little porch fire, but good response from the firefighters and kept it from spreading. So that's all I have.
Any questions for the chief? Alderman Kleiner?
Thank you. Chief, we had at our constituents meeting just a request, maybe you could take it back, but to show off your new apparatus so that people can see what we have in Middletown, that maybe you could take pictures and have them put up on Channel 20 and say, this is the new Munhagen's engine, or this is the new ladder truck or something. But it was a request.
Okay, we can do that. We also have it set up for some fire prevention stuff we're going out to just to start showing it off to the community. So.
Okay, I've seen you up at Davidge Park working with.
Well, that's part of our training, but we do have some events coming up for fire prevention and recruitment, so
Okay.
it'll be out there also.
Good, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Thank you, Chief. Police Chief?
Good evening. This evening we heard many heartfelt stories from members of our community behind us. I just want to remind everybody, including the members of our community and everybody watching here today also, that several months ago, after meeting with members of Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson and members of the...
Vanessa, could you interpret, because this is important for them to...
I'll just start over real quick. Several months ago, after meeting with members of Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson,
Hace unos meses después de reunirme con la organización Nadie se va del Mid-Hudson,
as well as members of the ACLU,
así también con organizaciones con los derechos civiles,
with the support of Mayor DeStefano,
con el apoyo del alcalde DeStefano,
the Middletown Police Department changed internal policy and procedure on how we interact with ICE on a regular basis.
la policía de la ciudad de Middletown cambió su póliza en cómo iba a relacionarse con los agentes de ICE,
Specifically due to detainer warrants,
específicamente con los warrants, las órdenes de arresto.
and from that point forward, I believe that we've made extreme progress in doing so, and we've
Y desde ese punto yo sé que hicimos un progreso en ese trabajo.
refocused our energies on educating and training our staff to treat all members of our community with dignity and respect and to treat them fairly.
Y fue en cuando hicimos que nuestros agentes de verdad pusieran esa póliza en acto, en que tratemos a todos iguales, sin importar quiénes son.
On to my next topic.
You can continue with us if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
We'll put you on payroll.
Just recently this week, the Middletown Police Department, under my administration, we changed to a new patrol initiative.
Y recientemente esta semana nuestro departamento de policía cambió una forma de cómo iban a estar patrolling. Sorry, these words miss me. Cómo iban a estar vigilando.
Many of you in the community know Officer Regino and Officer Bailey, who were very successful coming into the community on various levels and addressing concerns and needs of our community.
Muchos de ustedes ya han de conocer a nuestros oficiales Bailey y Regino, que han sido oficiales que han podido contestar las preguntas o cualquier preocupación que han tenido.
Based on the success that these two officers had in resolving the roots of issues, we took the next step to expand that unit.
Después de tantos buenos resultados que tuvimos de cómo ellos tomaban las situaciones desde el problema,
Instead of having 2 officers to handle the entire city, I now have a team of 8 officers.
en vez de solamente tener 2 oficiales estar vigilando la ciudad, ahora tengo 8.
There will be teams of 2 officers assigned to each ward, which would rotate on a 6-day-a-week rotation.
Y habrán ahora 2 compañeros por cada distrito haciendo las vigilancias.
And these teams of officers will be assigned to address the root cause of concerns within a community, whether it's whichever neighborhood, whichever ward it may be.
Y estos oficiales en sus equipos van a estar en las diferentes comunidades y calles para tratar de escuchar cualquier preocupación que ustedes tengan para poder ayudarlos y resolver ese problema.
They'll be patrolling the wards in uniform and marked patrol cars. They will be walking, and when the weather permits, they will be riding bicycles.
Van a haber unos días donde van a estar manejando en su bicicleta o hasta caminando y van a estar usando sus uniformes para que se puedan identificar.
So I please encourage all residents to come out and meet the officers that are assigned to their wards.
Y pues entonces les doy ánimo a todos los de la comunidad que salgan y hablen con ellos.
And to bring about any concerns or issues that they may have and would like to have addressed.
Y que les digan cualquier preocupación o enojo que tengan para que se pueda resolver.
I also encourage any resident to contact the police department or me directly with any concerns that I could address with these officers.
También les pido que si hay una pregunta o una preocupación que tengan y que ellos no les puedan contestar, me llamen a mí directamente para que yo pueda ayudarlos.
Just as clarification, these are a supplement to our normal patrol officers. This is above and beyond the officers that are out on patrol on a daily basis.
Y nada más para clarificar, esto es nada más un beneficio más para ayudar a nuestros oficiales para que se puedan comunicar y andar.
I can tell you it's difficult enough to talk, but when you have to have a translator, it's...
We're gonna-
And do you have any questions?
Anyone have any questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Gracias.
City Clerk?
Just to mention now that under the mayor's direction, we are now issuing municipal IDs every day in our office, in the city clerk's office. And the other day, a quick story, a young lady had come into my office to get the information on a municipal ID, and she had told me that her boyfriend was afraid to come in to get the ID, and she was getting the information. I told her, don't be afraid, have him come in. 2 hours later, he came in, and I was very proud of that. I wanted to also thank Alfredo and Inesio for all the help that they have given us in the office with the people, with all the help. Thank you so much. That's all I have for this evening.
Any questions for John? Thank you. It's your turn, Mr. Mayor.
You want to invite me up? I might need Vanessa again. I'm going to put you on payroll. First, I want to welcome everyone here this evening.
Primero quiero comenzar con dando la bienvenida a todos aquí esta noche.
And while it's wonderful to hear from them and to have them here at our meeting,
Y como es tan bonito de poder tenerlos todos aquí, poder escucharlos,
I hope no one came here with the fear and understanding that Middletown has not stood beside them throughout this whole process.
espero que no hayan venido con ese miedo pensando que la ciudad de Middletown no está con ustedes.
As the chief stated, we have changed internal police policy.
Como la cabeza del policía ha dicho, han cambiado la póliza de cómo ellos ahora están haciendo su trabajo.
We have been distributing information to all those who are interested in how to deal with ICE.
Hemos estado dando información a todos en cómo poder prevenir o interactuar con los agentes de ICE.
And hopefully they do know that they do not have to allow ICE into their homes.
Y esperemos que todos nuestros miembros de la comunidad sepan que ustedes tienen el derecho de no dejar que los agentes de ICE entren a la casa de usted.
I believe every one of us in elected office will support this resolution, as we have in the past.
Yo creo que todos en este concejal van a apoyar esta resolución como lo han hecho en el pasado.
And they can be assured that if the Middletown police are at their door, they are not there to enforce an ICE warrant.
Y les puedo asegurar que si un oficial de aquí de la ciudad de Middletown está enfrente de su casa, no es porque ellos están recogiéndolos por un orden de arresto de parte de ICE.
The detainer warrants or the administrative warrant. Middletown police only enforce judicial warrants issued by a judge, or i.e. criminal warrants.
Lo único que la ciudad de Middletown oficiales se llegan a aparecer es si ellos tienen una orden de la corte por algo civil que ustedes tienen en la corte, no por una orden que venga de inmigración, aunque sea administrativa o judicial de parte de ellos.
Whether we pass this resolution, and I'm hoping the acting council president will probably introduce it this evening from the floor, that even after this is passed, they have to understand that we do not have the authority and that this is a resolution to ask the state to act. But as a large number of people, a large group of people joining other municipalities, we hope to have a strong voice in Albany.
Así como estamos todos aquí enfrente, esperemos que hoy el concejal pueda poner esto hoy mismo en el suelo para poder ponerlo a voto. Pero nada más quiero recordarles que esto es algo que nosotros no nada más podemos administrar, sino que podemos mandarlo hacia Albany para que de verdad vean que eso es algo que ellos pueden hacer para que todos los municipios lo hagan.
Under no condition should they be afraid to come and talk to the Middletown Police Department.
No hay ninguna razón por qué se debería de tener miedo para venir a hablar con los oficiales de la ciudad de Middletown.
We can go to their home. They can come to the police station. We can meet in a place at Pastor Ruth's church if necessary.
Podemos ir a la casa de usted puede venir a nosotros, o nos podemos reunir en la iglesia de Pastor Charles.
But if necessary, we need to develop, as Mr. Numchuck said, we have made some changes in the ID program to do every day rather than localizing it into a couple days.
Pero si es necesario para de verdad darles la oportunidad a todos en cambiando las pólizas, como por ejemplo ahora vamos a estar dando las identificaciones municipales todos los días.
And immediately that day, I met with Pastor Charles, the ACLU, and Rabbi Rubenstein.
Y ese mismo día donde pasó el incidente, yo me reuní con ACLU, el padre Charles y el Rabbi Marcus Rubenstein.
And offered to them that the city would come to do IDs at a church, at a community hall, anywhere they would like. That we would do that without notice to the public, only notice to nobody leaves Mid-Hudson.
Y cuando hablé con esas personas que son pastores y cabezas de sus iglesias, hablamos sobre otra iniciativa que si podríamos tomar las identificaciones municipales y empezar a darlas en sus iglesias para que si personas se sentían con ese miedo o no se sentían cómodos para venir acá, se podía dar allá sin hacer un anuncio público, pero solamente dejarles saber a la organización, nadie se va del Mid-Hudson, para que ellos puedan dar la palabra a los restos de la comunidad.
We need them to remain part of our community.
Los necesitamos a ustedes para que sean parte de nuestra comunidad.
We need them to come out of their homes and participate on April 27th in the cleanup.
Especialmente en abril 27, que salgan todos para ayudar a limpiar.
We need them to feel that they can call the police.
Necesitamos que se sientan que puedan llamar a la policía.
Come to City Hall.
Venir aquí al consejo.
And we will have setbacks.
Y sí vamos a tener algunas cosas que nos salgan mal.
But not to any fault of any person in this room.
Pero no por la culpa de alguna persona en este cuarto ahora.
We know the big change will hopefully come in 2020.
Sabemos que el gran cambio ojalá va a venir en el año 2020.
And we all have to work towards that goal who are interested in this topic.
Y todos tenemos que trabajar hacia esa iniciativa si todos estamos interesados en esta conversación.
But between now and then,
Pero por lo mientras,
they need to feel secure as they can feel.
Ustedes se tienen que sentir lo más seguro posible.
We need to help them feel that way by passing resolutions,
Y tenemos que ayudarlos a sentirse así.
supporting them,
Para pasar resoluciones así y apoyándolos,
creating municipal IDs as we did,
creando identificaciones municipales como lo hicimos,
supporting the driver license initiative,
apoyando la iniciativa de la campaña Luz Verde, que es licencias para todos,
but more importantly, standing beside them when something bad happens in our community.
pero lo más importante es parándonos junto a ellos cuando algo mal pasa en nuestra comunidad.
So, as I open with, I believe everyone here will support this resolution, but there is still more work to do. I would ask Acting Council President Massey to vote on the resolution this evening. I know we did get it late.
Así como comencé, yo creo que esto sí va a pasar y le estoy pidiendo al que ahorita está como presidente, al consejero Massey, que pueda ponerlo en el piso para que hoy mismo se ponga a voto, aunque lo hayamos recibido un poco tarde.
But the work doesn't end this evening.
Pero para un recordatorio que el trabajo no acaba esta noche.
And we will continue to advocate for your community
Y vamos a seguir apoyando a esta comunidad
as I've tried to explain to those who even disagree with what we're doing.
Así como les traté de explicar hasta los que no están de acuerdo con lo que estamos haciendo.
Because as I said to the newspaper that day,
Porque así como yo le dije a los del periódico,
even if you disagree that ICE should not be in a courtroom,
aunque tú pienses que no es cierto, que aunque tú no estés de acuerdo que ICE esté aquí en las cortes,
that what they did
lo que ellos hicieron
was dangerous
fue muy peligroso
for their community,
para la comunidad,
for their mother or their sister or their child
para su hermana, su hijo,
that was here purchasing a dog license or a marriage
que
license.
estaba aquí tratando de sacar una licencia de matrimonio o tratando de sacar una verificación para su mascota.
So that's part of what our job is to even educate people who disagree with us,
Y eso es algo que es parte de nuestro trabajo, tratar de educar hasta las personas que están en contra de nosotros
and to move forward with our beliefs
y de seguir moviéndonos adelante con nuestras creencias
in hope that the state of New York does the right thing.
y esperar que el estado de Nueva York haga lo correcto.
So thank you very much, Vanessa, for your hard work here.
Gracias.
You can continue if you want.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did want to add a comment.
Go ahead.
So just last night, I forgot to add on, I was in the city of Poughkeepsie during their Common Council meeting, and they actually passed this unanimously. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, so thank you.
No pressure. So, other news. Mr. Nemchek read the letter from the Board of Education. We've been on like a little tour doing little groups around the city. All of us, or most of us, enjoyed the Little League Parade and the great turnout that they had, and the kids that will be enjoying the Watts Park and the Little League programs. Myself and Maria Bruni, Economic Development Director, also did a presentation at the Senior Center. So people are interested in what's happening in the community. We're getting a lot of invitations to speak at their local groups. I met with the post office with Alderman Massey and some department heads regarding some of the issues of concern that we've had. Very open to and very receptive to hearing what's happening in the community. And they're making some major changes in the U.S. Post Office, especially locally. Mr. Massey did bring up repeatedly the access to the mailboxes for the handicapped. They are designing a new mailbox that will meet those standards. The reason why the box is the way they are is because actually they're doing this throughout the country, is that people are now stealing letters out of the mailbox, and they call it mailbox phishing. And so they had to create this new tamper-proof mailbox, and it's for our protection, but they do need to address the ADA issue, and they are. So, in form of resolutions tonight, you do have the MPC, the pile of rubble that's up there, that the two low bidders were both a little under 700,000. They both pulled out. We are looking to go after their bid. We're awarding the third low bidder of a little over $1 million tonight. And keep in mind that 500,000 of that project is a grant from Governor Cuomo and Assemblywoman Gunther for under the Restore New York program. So we'll be funding this with about $600,000 of local taxation. We also have an update on the trail with the group that was retained to do the trail study, and they are doing we met with the security analysis, and it's moving along, that we're hoping that by the end of this month or early next month that we'll have a draft report for the council to approve. They'll identify equipment that's necessary up in the reservoir, for example, four-wheelers and emergency plans, trail markers. The trails are all mapped out, mostly in place, and the rules that people need to follow. We're looking at a different type, like an app that people can sign in, let us know they're there. But they've really made a lot of progress on the project, and that will be open hopefully this summer for at least bikers and hikers. So We had some good news from the Orange County Transportation Council and New York State DOT. The governor has awarded us an additional $900,000 towards the streetscape project for one of the 3 sidewalk programs in and around the city. The original grant was $2.7 million, and at this morning's meeting, attended by Jacob Twiel, they went along with our cost estimates that upped the project to 3.6. So we'll be able to, looks like we'll be able to complete everything that we've planned for in the preliminary drafting of the sidewalk plan. That includes Dolson Avenue, basically all of downtown, Wickham Avenue from Lau Avenue, from the railroad tracks, Grove Street, West Main all the way up to, West Main all the way up to Wickham, Highland from West Main all the way over to the square. All the intersections will be done, including a redesign of the intersection by the Armory. That's in addition to these projects here. So we're hoping to get that out to bid by October. Possibly some of the work can begin by the end of the year, but we are hoping that we'll get some competitive prices on this project, and the grants that are now in place will meet the needs. One more point on the ICE issue. Congressman Maloney did send a letter to ICE demanding clarification about their program. And it was his understanding in the letter that ICE may have violated their protocols by being in the court unannounced, no notice to the police department, and creating a dangerous situation here at City Hall, not only for the people within the building, but people visiting the building. So he has not, to my knowledge, has not received a response back from ICE, but as soon as that is available, we will also share that with the public. One last issue is the Heritage Trail, and James Brooks, let me get it, because I'm going to read his words. James Brooks is the Parks and Recreation Director of the county, and he has actually been the man that really has pushed this project along since it dropped for quite a while. He said, this was a few days ago or last week, just talked to the DOT, the Federal Highway FHWA gave an informal approval of the project. They just need a few changes to the right-of-way clearance. This was a couple weeks ago. DOT will make the changes, and I'll make sure DPW gets the minor changes and send them back. Then, on April 5th, the project was just officially approved by the feds, and he also said that May 1st is the expected bid date for the project to go out to bid. So we're very hopeful that this timeline will be kept. As I said during the meeting, if you see me texting once in a while, I'm just trying to get an update, and that was one of the updates that we got, and everything seems to be in place. So I think that's all I have, unless you have any questions
for the mayor?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, due to your powers of persuasion, as you know, we did receive it a little late, and we were considering putting it off for 2 weeks, but because you gave, well, actually, it was the three young children that came up and gave a heartwarming presentation, and everyone else that spoke tonight. I've been making eye contact with Alderman Kleiner, and I see him writing out. So at the end of the meeting, before the meeting closes, there's going to be 2 motions from the floor. The second one, I'm sure, will be by Alderman Kleiner, and I'm hoping that it will be passed unanimously. So if you don't mind sticking around for about another probably half hour, we should have your motion taken care of. All right, remarks of the Alderman. Alderman Tobin.
Thank you. I'd just like to wish everybody happy Easter and happy Passover. On the proposed resolution, I agree with, I was thinking of the same things that they gave us here about the ICE incident. I really feel like the federal government has created this mess with immigration, and we're trying to deal with some of the issues at the state level, and now they're compounding the problem with these ICE arrests outside of our courts. I really feel it's an interference with our judicial system on the state level, having a sting operation at the court door. It's going to stop people from getting their day in court, which is part of the bedrock principle of America. I mean, even John Adams defended the people in the Boston Massacre to make sure they got a fair day in court. And the second reason I think we should support this, it was the safety factor the mayor mentioned, the danger of having unarmed police officers that aren't announced at the court door and are armed police officers here really creates a dangerous situation, apprehending people. The public is coming here, like they said, to in the court to pay their water bill or to get their dog license, and it really creates a dangerous atmosphere. And I agree with Congressman Maloney. If it is not their policy, it should be their policy that they should make people aware that they're in the building, and that having these undercover agents at the court door is really, like I said, an interference with the whole judicial process of the state. And so our judicial system, everybody deserves a day in court. We can't have, armed people, waiting here, basically have a sting operation at our door. It's not fair to the people trying to get their day in court and, have justice served. Thank you.
Alderman Green.
Thank you very much. Dangerous, reckless, just a couple words I think that describe what went on here and what's going on in courtrooms around the country. Completely boggles the mind, and I do thank Congressman Maloney. I read the letter, I believe, through Facebook. It was posted, if you haven't read it. Really does call out that it should, if it is not their policy, to certainly become policy, that this is not right. Reading over the Protect Our Courts Act, one thing that really hit me is that it prevents people from coming in and getting restraining orders if they need, or orders of protection, things like that. If you want to be a part of the community, you should feel comfortable being in the community. And I can't speak for everyone here, but I know I do stand by everyone in this room and what you stand for. And, we'll gladly support this resolution this evening. That being said, just, quickly, I do want to thank the police chief for all you're doing with community policing. We did hear at the citywide watch meeting a little rumor about what you were planning on doing there from Officers Regino and Cunningham. And while I have the mic, I'll be the first to request that we get them in the second ward, so we can keep them. But really, it is important to have friendly faces, especially as we go through all of this, where people can come to their people they see in their neighborhoods daily, weekly, and feel safe coming and talking to them. So thank you for putting that program into place. Other than that, it is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. That's a really long term for dispatchers for our emergency services. So I do want to say a big thank you to all of our dispatchers. Your hard work, 24 hours a day, definitely does not go unnoticed. And also just a happy Passover to those who are going to be celebrating, and a happy Easter to everyone celebrating as well. Moving on. Thank you.
Alderman Johnson.
Thank you. I want to join others in thanking Jerry for being an advocate for the warming station. And I want to thank those that are here tonight for making it work. It's an important part of the fabric of our community, and thank you for all that you do. Sue, best of luck. I will be doing my day job at that particular point on a Saturday, but I'll be with you in spirit. And I pick up stuff, as you do, every day. Chief, the initiatives know no bounds, so thank you for keeping your thinking cap on and looking for new things to do to make law enforcement a better part of our community. You're doing a great job. I appreciate that. And to Mayor and Maria, thank you for the dog and pony show and all that we're doing. I think anybody who sees it is amazed at what's actually happening in the city of Middletown, so thank you for that. With respect to the issue at hand this evening, I think there are a lot of things I know and a lot of things I don't know. Things I don't know anything about legislation for ICE or what's written someplace in a book or what they think they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. I don't know anything about that. Things that I do know, as empathetic as I may try to be, I will never be able to walk a mile in the shoes that many of you here tonight have described that you walk in. Because unless you live it, you really can't appreciate exactly what you're going through. I do know that. I do know that when law enforcement comes to a court to do what happened in this building that day, that's just another form of victimization for members of our community. I know that. I do know that if you're going to come into my building and not tell law enforcement that you're going to be here, that's outrageous. I do know that. I do know that that act put many people at risk. What if I was walking up the stairs and all these people came running down and I got knocked down a flight of stairs? What if somebody was coming in the front of the building with an infant in a carrier and that woman got knocked down the stairs because of that's what you thought was a good idea to do today? I do know that was not a good idea. I do know that children should not have to think about and articulate the things that they thought about and articulated this evening. That should not be part of what a child has to think about on a day-to-day basis. I know that. Something I think about but I don't know. Was it a coincidence? Was the timing a coincidence? I don't know or not know that. But my inner voice says it was not a coincidence. My inner voice says it was a pushback to the city of Middletown, and I can't prove that, but that's how I feel. I've spoken with Alfredo each week, and with all that I read in the newspaper, the first thing I thought about, well, there goes people coming to the city of Middletown to get their ID cards. And I saw him on that Thursday looking dejected. Well, how many people do we have today? 9. How many people did we have the week before that? 50 or 60 per day. I do know that that's outrageous. And I hope that we can make it a better place. With respect to Notre Dame, je pense que c'est très dommage et j'en suis très désolé. Thank you. It's multinational night.
Very good.
Un peu.
Alderman Kleiner.
Parlez un peu.
Merci.
No espagnol.
You didn't swear, did you?
Un peu.
Merci.
Alderman Kleiner, sorry.
Thank you. You had a long list of questions, and I'm saving them for Commissioner Tawil when he is back. But I want to start off thanking Marilyn for her kind words, but no one works as hard as Marilyn does, and none of that would happen without her, so we thank you. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I thank everyone for coming out tonight, people being unafraid to speak up, being unafraid to be seen and to be heard and being part of the community. So we're going to continue to support you, and I thank the mayor for his strong support, and we will introduce this from the floor later. It's such a it's April so busy, and I just want to quickly go over the Little League Parade. We had a gorgeous day, but I also want to recognize that the minor league fields, and Tommy Burr may correct me if I get any of this stuff wrong, but people were recognized by the Little League for their contributions, and having the minor league fields and Field 1 and 2 named after them for a couple years, and it was Jimmy Cristiano, John Bianchi, Chris Brinkerhoff, and the late Norm Bruning, and it's for all they've done for Little League. This past week, we had the Mulberry House Senior Volunteer Recognition Day breakfast, so I thank Julissa, the staff, and of course, all the volunteers. It was, as always, a great event, and Julissa did a great job. Coming up, of course, we start with Good Friday and the start of Passover, and Saturday the 20th, we have the extravaganza up at Davidge Park, and Chris is not here to promote that, so I want to mention it, 10 a.m. for the little kids, 11 a.m. for the big kids in the back of the park, so if you get there at 1, you'll miss it. There is no rain date. We hope right now it's just like light showers, so we hope we get through it. Then, of course, we have Easter Sunday. On Monday is Earth Day, but it's actually next Thursday, the 25th, from 10 a.m. to 2, it's a week from Thursday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at SUNY Orange will be the Earth Day celebration and informational booths. And if you get a chance to stop by, that's always a great event. Friday is Arbor Day. We have been named a Tree City again now for the 10th year. I thank the Shade Tree Committee for their hard work. And, you know, it's something we ought to be proud of in Middletown. And then, of course, we get to Saturday and the 27th Middletown Pride Cleanup, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Festival Square. Barbara Bedell's going to put it in the paper for us again. God bless her. Sunday, the 28th, I know you have your Code Blue event on April 28th, but that is technically our rain day, so we haven't used a rain day yet. It would have to be really pouring, so let's hope for the best. On May 4th at 10 a.m., there's a ribbon cutting at Davidge Park for the disc golf. I want to mention what happened, I believe it was on April 6th, but I call it the Academy Avenue Park Massacre, where once again, a beautiful Academy Avenue Park, and it's another Calvert Vaux designed gem we have in Middletown. And those ornamental cherry trees, just imagine if you went to the tidal basin in DC and or you went to the Jefferson Memorial just when the blossoms were going to be out, and you found out that, well, someone had come down and pruned all the branches off the week before they were to bloom. Well, that happened in Middletown for the second time, and it's inexcusable. They were pruned, the trees were pruned for safety reasons last year by the Shade Tree Committee. There was no reason, they were told no, and I don't know how it happened, but I don't ever want to see it happen again in Middletown. So it's something I hope we can look into and get to the bottom of. And dear to my heart, May 3rd was Pete Seeger's 100th birthday, would have been. It's also the 50-year anniversary of the launch of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, and the following year, in 1970, it sailed down to Washington, D.C., into the tidal basin area to lobby for the Clean Water Act, which was passed in 1972. And if you follow in the news, you know the president just issued executive orders to force the EPA not to enforce the Clean Water Act. I mean, you talk about going backwards. You couldn't make this up. Pete, we really miss you. And speaking of anniversaries, just to embarrass her a little bit, my wife is in the audience. Tomorrow is our 35th wedding anniversary. So, Barbara, thank you for putting up with me for 35 years. Thank you.
Alderman June Francois. Yes, good evening. I think everyone that spoke tonight and sharing your concerns and your story with us tonight. And, you know, if I was a ICE agent, I would surrender to you guys because most of the hard work is already done. You know, I'm hearing people scared, afraid, but from what I'm seeing here tonight in this room, I don't see it at all. I think you guys are showing a lot of courage, a lot of resilience. I mean, half of the work is already done. If they didn't stop you guys from coming into this country, it's already too late. You guys are already here. The battle is done. To me, again, whatever you guys are doing, keep doing it, and we're gonna do our best to support you guys or whatever you're doing. And most of the stories that I heard tonight, it's heartfelt. And whatever we could do in our power to make sure what the story that was shared with us tonight doesn't go to deaf ears, we'll do our part. That's guaranteed. Thank you guys for coming tonight.
Alderman Burr. Well, I guess I'm last. I thank everybody coming out tonight, and I agree with all my aldermen, all their comments. Jerry covered most of my stuff in my committee, so I have much to say. The Easter egg hunt is this Saturday. The young kids start at 10 o'clock. and it's in the back of David's this year instead of the front. They did that because they're away from the roads and everything else, so it's a little safety issue. And the ribbon cutting for the disc golf that Jerry covered already.
When is it?
Yeah. Jerry, May 4th, 10 o'clock. And we want to thank all the sponsors who sponsored all the holes for us. You know, they really did nice plaques. And as Jerry said, we dedicated our fields to, our fellow people that did a lot of work in our community on our fields, and we do appreciate that. And we also dedicated the food shack also. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Unfinished business.
Nothing this evening.
New business.
We have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, second by Alderman Johnson, to authorize the mayor to sign all agreements with the prospective performers of the 2019 Summer Concert Series and Stars and Stripes event.
Resolution by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, second by Alderman John Francois, to authorize the use of the City of Middletown stage for the Hudson Valley Honor Flight Concert for Veterans concert on Saturday, July 27th from 12 noon to 8 p.m.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman John Francois. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Tobin, to authorize the closing of streets on Sunday, June 2nd, 2019, for the 39th Annual Orange Classic 10K Road Race.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, second by Alderman Green, to close all streets and intersections necessary for the YMCA 23rd Annual Ruth E. Dino Marshall Run on Sunday, June 9th, 2019.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any comments? Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. As we know, this kind of locks in the second ward, and it's listed as from 7:30 to 10:30. So once again, I just urge them to finish as quickly as they can, and the police have done an excellent job at following the runners and then opening the streets. But it's important that we get the second ward back open as soon as possible after this. Thank you.
Any other comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, second by Alderman Kleiner, to close any and all streets and intersections necessary for the Middletown Walkill Veterans Council Memorial Day services and parade on Monday, May 27th, 2019.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, second by Alderman Tobin, to close Erie Way every Saturday for the farmers market from Saturday, June 1st, 2019 through Saturday, October 26th, 2019 from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Green, to grant permission for the New Beginnings Church located at 11 Mulberry Street to have two events in the parking lot on June 8th and June 9th.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Green. Any comments? Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. I know this involves loudspeakers, so I just encourage them to use common sense with the loudspeakers and not blast out the whole downtown. Thank you.
Any other comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Tobin, to amend the City Code, Chapter 460, Vehicles and Traffic, to add two handicap signs on Hill Street and Sproat Street.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Tobin, to amend the City Code, Chapter 460, Vehicles and Traffic, Section 46011, through streets, stop streets, yield intersections, to add a stop sign at Dogwood Drive at Walnut Lane.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Tobin. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, second by Alderman Green, to approve the 2018 service listing of all volunteer firefighters for the Middletown Fire Department for the LoSAP Service Award Program.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman Green. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Green, to amend the city code to allow live music and live music performances in indoor and sidewalk cafes from May 3rd, 2019 through October 21st, 2019.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Green. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, second by Alderman Johnson, to establish the standard workdays for an appointed official and allow the clerk to report the day's work to the New York State and local employees' retirement system.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Green, to authorize the treasurer that $5,000 of the solutions funding that has been previously approved by the Common Council under Resolution 311-18 be added to our Too Good for Drugs and Violence.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Green. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Kleiner, to authorize the treasurer to transfer $58,650 from the water fund for the CT Mail Associates to provide professional design engineering services for the Lamson Causeway.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Comments? Alderman Kleiner?
I just wanted to explain the Lamson Causeway, because the commissioner's not here, that's the pipe that goes under Mount Hope Road on the two sides of the Shawangunk Reservoir and helps keep the reservoirs even, so it's to prevent flooding over the road and such, and is well needed. Thank you.
Any other comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, second by Alderman Johnson, authorizing the issuance of $5,300,000 in serial bonds to pay for the cost of the construction of the water storage tanks in the city, superseding the bond resolution 279-15 on September 1st, 2015.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman John Francois, to authorize the treasurer to transfer $600 within the assessor's 2019 budget to cover mileage reimbursement for travel.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, seconded by Alderman John Francois. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Burr, to authorize the treasurer to transfer amounts in the 2018 budget which are primarily driven by the settlement of the CSEA contract and management increases that impacted the payroll-related accounts, which are budget neutral.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Burr. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Tobin, to amend Resolution 216-18 on August 8th, 2018, on the sale of 99 East Avenue to amend conditions in the contract.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. That is all for new business.
Alderman Green?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion from the floor. Resolution to award the bid for asbestos and rubble pile removal project at the former Psychiatric Center to Gorick Construction Co., Inc.
Do we have a second? Alderman Johnson.
Second.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr? Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Is that it? Go on, Alderman Kleiner. I'll get killed. Thank you, Acting President Massey. I would like to introduce the resolution calling on Middletown to support the Protect Our Courts Act. The resolution as sent an email to all council members. And what I want to do actually is I can read the first paragraph and then the last paragraph. I think we all know basically what it says. But it's a resolution calling on the state legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Protect Our Courts Act, Assembly Bill 2176, Senate Bill 425, in order to protect certain interested parties or people from civil arrest while going to, remaining at, or returning from the place of a court proceeding. And we have a lot of whereases, and then we get to the resolve that the city of Middletown calls on the state legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Protect Our Courts Act, A 2176, S 425, in order to protect certain interested parties or people from civil arrest while going to, remaining at, or returning from the place of such court proceeding. Seconded by Alderman Green. We have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any comments? Roll.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
If you'll give us 30 more seconds, we'll be out of here, and then we can celebrate. Local laws.
Nothing this evening.
Audit.
Mr. Chairman, I move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Motion by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Burr. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion for adjournment?
So moved.